Hey guys, welcome along to this one. This was round 5 SIMseniors, their Gt3 championship. Paul Ricard, not one of my favourite tracks, but like I said, we just got on with it. We qualified second, front row. That's where I needed to be because I'm usually pretty good at the start. But this time, the guy seemed to be, who was on pole, he was almost a whole car length in front of me when lights went green. So I was quite miffed at, to be fair, because I'm usually pretty good at the start. I usually get it lined up in the box and everything, and yeah, this time I don't know what happened. But anyway, gunning it into the first corner. The guy next to me misses the apex by quite a bit and then runs me wide, which I thought was a bit naughty, to be fair. And then he was literally right in front of me and I had nowhere really to go, and subsequently spanning. So then obviously that's dropped me down to 4th, which yeah, isn't good. So we come around the next part and yeah, I quick reactions managed to just cut the track. I think, to be fair, there was nowhere else I could have went. Otherwise I'd have probably got caught up in that. So yeah, it was like, well, if I get a track penalty, I get a track penalty or a warning. But lucky enough I didn't. The game helped me out in a sense. So that's it, we're away. Obviously I'm just at this point trying to process exactly what happened. Like I said, it's getting sort of, to me, I was forced off the track. I mean, you know me by now, guys, I won't make no bones about it. I believe, and obviously with my stream, because I did live stream this, I did feel that I was forced off the track. I did feel that he could have broke a lot better sooner, probably made the apex of the first part of the corner, but he didn't. And like I said, just forced me off the track pretty much. So I suppose in a way, I said 10 of one, half a dozen of the other. But yeah, subsequently from that, now we did both get a 10-point penalty, and like I said, we'll just take it on the chin and move on. So it's going to come in sort of near to the end of the first lap. I mean, it was pretty much, I think I didn't really have much damage, to be fair. I think it was maybe 2 seconds, which wasn't going to make a massive difference to the overall sort of race pace. So I was sort of happy. And it was, let's get the head down and sort of set our sights on catching first and second. So we move on to lap 4. By this stage, as you can see, we're not really made a dent. We were sort of all around the same time. Obviously you've got a Ferrari in first, obviously he's going to have to straight line speed down the back straight. You've got a BMW in second, and then obviously me and the BMW in third. So coming sort of down to this part, BMW just goes slightly wide. And obviously that sort of gives me a sort of glimmer. We can sort of physically see that I've got closer. Again, he goes wide, so yeah, we were sort of in a good position. Like I said, it was trying to sort of hunt him down. I knew to a point we would probably be sort of similar down the back straight, obviously both being the BMW, but I did actually find out, I think sort of later on, that he might have been using a slightly different tune with less aero, because I had a sort of choice of 2 setups. I tend to use the older Coach Dave setup, so yeah, I was actually running more wing than what he was, and I sort of noticed this later on in the race. So we come around here again, he's gone wide, gets a little bit twitchy, and again that's brought me really close. I sort of send it to, not sort of send it, I sort of take my usual line through there, because again he's gone wide. So yeah, it's all sort of helping me. It's giving me that sort of little bit of spring in the step, so to speak, to sort of push and try and get past. So, but problem is at this stage I could see the Ferrari in the distance who's in first place. He was pulling away. You've got a back marker coming up in the Beamer as well, so obviously depending on where he obviously catches him up, he's going to get slipstream. So yeah, so move on to lap 6. Again, nothing happened. The guy in front sort of settled down for sort of 2 laps, but then obviously coming into here, he's missed the apex completely, and that's compromised him for the second part of the chicane. So I get a run. Obviously no second invitation for me. If the run's there, or there's a chance of getting a position, you know me, I'm going to go for it. So not sure if he's backed out there. I think he might have backed out because he was in sort of the wrong position for the corner. I had sort of like the high ground, so to speak. So yeah, that was it, job done. But as you can see, coming onto the back straight, he is pretty close. So we'll go outside on the rear shot, and we'll just see. But yeah, okay, he's in the slipstream, and as I said, you're gonna gain anyway. But as I said, I found out sort of later on that yeah, he must have been using the tune that I wasn't, and he had a lot less aero. As you can see, you're getting the old back and forth with the slipstream. So yeah, coming side by side. Again, I know I just had to just sort of keep it there. I mean, we're both sort of clean races. We've raced close before. This is going to be sort of no shenanigans. And again, I knew I had the high line. I knew I was in the right position for the sort of corners coming up to still keep into first position, which we managed to do. A little bit sort of, yeah, back and forth, touch and go. Obviously, again, from now I knew I had to try and extend from him. Probably, I think I've sort of seen it down the back straight. As long as you're about 8 tenths, you're not going to give a lot of slipstream away to the car behind. Obviously, yes, he was in a BMW, so it was a lot easier. It's not like he was in an Aston or one of the quicker cars. But we move on to lap 16. As I said, again, it was a bit of nip and tuck between me and the other BMW driver. Not really much happened. I managed to pull away for a few laps. I put in a few sort of decent times, and I managed to get the gap up to 2 seconds. But then after the sort of next few laps, he managed to put in sort of better lap times than me and close the gap again. So again, like I said, it was a bit of sort of yo-yoing about. It's a bit of sort of back and forth. But I just knew as long as I kept consistent, as long as I kept sort of at this part of the track here before the back straight that I had a gap, then yeah, I sort of knew that he's not going to get round me, so to speak, unless I really mess up. So as I said, we're onto a sort of later lap. As you can see from the screen in the BMW, that's sort of a rear view mirror, he's not there now. I think it was maybe close to 3 seconds gap. Now I presume that he would, or he'd maybe had too many track warnings by this stage and he couldn't push no more with a risk of running wide. So we're coming to the sweeping right, and then unbeknown to me, first place man's dropped it. There he is. So I did check back at the replay, and basically he's come through there, and then that second part, the second sort of right-hander, his car's just sort of let go. It just, yeah, completely sort of span round, which was, yeah, unfortunate for him. But on the sort of flip side of that, obviously, yeah, bonus for me. I'm now in the lead. I didn't expect. I think he had like a 6 or 7 second gap out front, and I did not for one instant expect to get first or be in first. But the race was a times multiplier. I think it might have been possibly a 10 times multiplier, 20 times multiplier. So what it did was we started at a certain temperature, then the temperature spiked right up, maybe almost by about 10 degrees, and then it went down come near the end of the race. So you had to have the tyres, you had to sort of sacrifice maybe the first part of the race to then have the tyres in the window for the middle, but then your tyres are going to be cold at the end of it. And I think maybe that's what happened with a Ferrari. It was just very strange because, yeah, he didn't sort of run wide, he didn't do anything like that. The car just sort of let go. So, but yeah, onto the later lap again. Under the impression, or knew the impression that the Ferrari was quick, going onto the back straight. So I had to, yeah, pull away. And as you can see, I'd sort of perfected this part, and it was sort of dropping it into a sort of lower gear and getting the traction, getting out. As you can see, I'm sure I was about 0.8 of a second away now, so I knew pretty much I had the gap. I knew it would close, but it wouldn't close enough to, yeah, for him to catch me up. So it was just a matter of, yeah, keeping it clean, keeping it tidy. As I said, I had the tyres sort of in a perfect window, to be fair. I was sort of lucky. But yeah, keep an eye on the Ferrari again behind. And yeah, so we come around here. It's just a little bit of a wiggle there. Just again, it just, yeah. And then he starts to go wide and almost drift around the corner. So he must have been struggling with his tyres. He must have maybe not made the sort of sacrifice with the pressures at the start. I actually practiced for this race for the sort of start temperature, and I got my tyres into the window for the start temperature of the race, and then what I did is at the start of the race I dropped it down by 0.3 of a PSI, so then when the track did get higher, mine weren't massively overheating, because obviously massively overheating and running them is going to completely wear out your tyres quicker. So then when the track does get cold at the end of the race, like it did, as you can see, we've started off and it's daylight, it's now obviously our lights are on, it's starting to get dark, the track temperature was a lot colder than what it was when we started, so I was sort of in a good position. Don't get me wrong, the tyres were still not perfect, they were not in a perfect window, but yeah, for sure it definitely didn't have the issues of what the Ferrari did, and I'd say, yeah, would have been kicking himself, to be fair, come at the end of this race, because he had a gap, he done everything right. Yeah, as I said, I didn't expect to go from third down to or up to first, sorry. Obviously I didn't expect to go down to fourth at the start. I didn't expect there to be a bit of door banging and everything else. So, but yeah, as I said, absolutely over the moon. As you can see, because the Ferraris dropped it, the other BMWs got into second, and they are quite close. But as I said, I had enough of a gap, as you can see, and like I said, I was, yeah, I was very, what's the word? Felt very sort of strange how, yeah, as I said, I gifted, yeah, definitely gifted first place. So yeah, but as I said, at the end of the day, I'll take it. It was not bad qualifying in second, front row. Got away, like I said, a bit of argy-bargy, bit of door banging, and yeah, down to fourth, then up to third, and then yeah, managed to get second, but then yeah, gifted first. But as I said, I'll take it. I will take it all day long. The highs and lows of racing at the end of the day. So yeah, come across the line, you can see I'm over the moon. Bit of a wiggle. But yeah, we'll move on to the next round. So round 6, Bathurst. What can I say about Bathurst? All I'm going to say is I've never had a clean race here, whether it be my own fault, whether I've been taken out by somebody else. As I said, I've just, yeah, hate the track. Yeah, I could safely say I hate the track because of that. I've still got pace at the end of the day, so yeah, put it on the front row, second place, only 2 tenths off pole. Managed to get a good start like I usually do. I always seem to, like I said, get a good start. Always seem to be, yeah, on the ball straight away. Whether it's my reactions or I'm just lucky, I mean, I don't know. But as I said, I needed to get front row. I knew I needed to get front row. Again, third place I think was a Ferrari. Fourth place was possibly an Audi or something like that. So I knew there was quicker cars, especially down the back straight at Bathurst. And obviously the Beamer's not too quick on the straight. So, but yeah, got away. That was it. It was like, great, done the job. Knew at the start of the race, I was constantly saying on the stream, right, if I get in the first place, I can control the pace. Knowing how unforgiving the mountain is, this section especially, then the downhill, it's just absolutely horrendous. This is why I probably don't like the track. It's just so easy to lose control. So, as I said, I'm in first. As you can see, I'm starting to pull a gap. I'm not pushing. I'm certainly not pushing. The tyres are cold, so it's like, right, let's get away. Let's do a lap. Let's get the tyres up. Let's see where we're at come the second lap. And let's, yeah, as I said, just control the pace. That's all I was saying to myself before the start of the race. I mean, any guys that were on my stream, or you can go and check back my stream. Yeah, it was like, right, we're in first, control the pace. No one can overtake you through the mountain section. At the end of the day, it just doesn't happen. If you try, you're going to make contact with the other car, so most people don't. The only sort of points of overtaking are obviously the downhill and the uphill straights. So yeah, so it was like, right, yeah, I'm in the lead, let's control the pace. So we move on to lap 2. So as I said, yeah, I think at this stage I'm 0.9 if I remember. So I'm not a complete second, but yeah, 0.9 was enough that he wasn't going to catch me. along the straights, because obviously he's in a Beamer, and I'm sure he was running the same tune this time, unlike Paul Ricard. So obviously, yeah, more wing for stability. So coming up to this section again, it was just a matter of, yeah, just hit my braking points, get my gearing in. Not sure why on the replay why there's the Tasmanian Devils come back with the old dust clouds. Really strange, but yeah. So we come around this section, and I absolutely nailed this section. Absolutely nailed it. So you can see him behind in the rear view camera, and then coming through, it's pretty much flat out. It's, you get it correct, it's foot to the floor. You don't have to lift. So I'm come round, and as I said, I'm on it. I'm absolutely on it. The car's feeling great. The tyres are up. As you can see, I'm starting to pull away, and by this section I just glanced down and I was like 1.4 ahead, and then come here, just get a bit of a wobble, and I hit the wall, and like a complete noob I spin it. So I'm sat there on the brakes, and then yeah, get clouted into the side, which I'm not going to blame the guy in the Ferrari, but yeah, it is what it is. I held my brakes, I was there. I think if no one had hit me, I'd have possibly spun it round and carried on. I didn't have major damage. But I think because someone hit me, and then I was under the mindset, it was like, right, let's get off the track. I'm in a precarious position. I could impact somebody else's race. But yeah, that was it again. The mountains bitten back. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, we'll move on to round 7. And yeah, see what that track holds. But I'm sort of glad we've got the mountain out of the way. The way the championship works, there's 3 drop rounds, so yeah, this will definitely be a drop round. But anyway, guys, onwards and upwards. Cheers for watching the video, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next live stream.